Many of us experience a daily struggle with mental clarity. We start the day with strong intentions, aiming to tackle our most challenging tasks. Yet, by mid-morning or early afternoon, a familiar drain sets in. This feeling of brain fog, characterized by difficulty concentrating, reduced productivity, and a general sense of mental fatigue, is often misinterpreted. We tend to blame it on a lack of discipline or a failure of willpower. We push harder, drink more coffee, try to force our way through the mental haze, believing that sheer effort is the solution. This approach is fundamentally flawed and often leads to burnout. The belief that we can maintain high focus for hours is a modern myth. It ignores the biological processes that govern cognitive performance. Focus is not an infinite resource you can command at will. It is a physiological state, rooted in rhythmic cycles of brain and body. Just as you cannot will yourself to stop needing sleep, you cannot maintain peak alertness indefinitely. Working with your biology is the first and most critical step. We internalize fatigue as a personal failing, imagining others have superior self-control. Sustained focus is about understanding neurochemical mechanisms and biological rules. Your body runs on biological clocks. Beyond the 24-hour circadian rhythm, your focus is governed by shorter, 90-minute ultradian rhythms. This cycle is driven by neurochemistry. Acetylcholine acts as an attentional spotlight, while dopamine provides the motivation to persist. After about 90 minutes of intense effort, these chemical supplies wane. Pushing through increases stress and degrades performance. The key isn't to fight this natural rhythm, but to work with it. The 90-20 protocol is a powerful framework designed to align your work sessions with your body's natural ultradian rhythms. These are the recurring cycles of energy and focus that govern your physiology throughout the day. The protocol is simple. Engage in roughly 90 minutes of intense, uninterrupted deep work, followed by a deliberate 20-minute neurological reset. This isn't just a break. It's a strategic recovery period. The goal is to maximize cognitive output during your natural performance peak, then consciously replenish the neurochemicals like acetylcholine and dopamine that fuel that focus. Before you start, you must define your objective with absolute clarity. What does done look like for this session? Vague goals lead to scattered attention. Next, eliminate all distractions. Your environment must become a sterile cockpit, engineered for one purpose only. Turn off all notifications. Close unrelated tabs. Put your phone in another room. Signal to yourself and others that you are entering deep work. Once your environment is prepared and your objective is clear, start the 90-minute timer. Your sole commitment is to the task at hand. If your mind wanders, and it will, gently and non-judgmentally redirect it back. Do not multitask. Do not check email. Avoid even the smallest, most seemingly harmless interruptions. Each context switch carries a significant cognitive cost. With each session, you're training your brain to sustain high-intensity concentration, building your capacity for world-class output. 90 minutes is an approximation based on the average ultradian cycle. Your personal cycle may be 75 or even 100 minutes. Pay attention to internal cues like mental friction or an urge to procrastinate, and stop as your ability to focus genuinely fades. When the timer goes off, you must stop. This rule is non-negotiable. Even if you're in a state of flow, especially if you are, honor the end of the cycle. Pushing on borrows focus from the next session, creating a cognitive debt that will diminish your overall productivity for the day. Stopping is as important as starting. It reinforces the boundary that makes the work period so effective. Transition immediately into the 20-minute rest period. The sharp contrast between work and rest is critical. That clear delineation enables a full neurological reset, allowing your brain to clear metabolic waste and restore its readiness for the next bout of effort. The goal is to align your work habits with the fundamental design of your nervous system. This structure creates consistency, and it is consistency applied over time that compounds into extraordinary results. This is a precise, timed protocol, not a vague suggestion, but the reset period has rules of its own. Next, why your phone ruins the reset and exactly what to do instead. The 20-minute rest is an active reset, not downtime. The goal is to shift from narrow tunnel vision focus into a state of broad awareness. The single worst thing you can do is pick up your smartphone. It triggers dopamine spikes that hijack your focus and nullify the reset. Instead, walk outside and let your gaze go panoramic. This is called optic flow. Or simply close your eyes for 5 to 10 minutes. A brief, non-sleep deep rest session, stretching or hydrating also work. The unwavering rule is low stimulation. This allows your mind to wander freely, restoring readiness for your next work block. Caffeine feels like focus, but often it's borrowed focus with interest. Here's how to use it without breaking the protocol. Caffeine blocks adenosine, the fatigue signal, while amplifying dopamine and norepinephrine. Great for drive, terrible for resets and sleep if mistimed. Timing. Delay your first caffeine 60-90 minutes after waking to let natural cortisol and adenosine rhythms settle. Dose at the start of a 90-minute deep work block, not during the 20-minute reset. Cut off caffeine 8 to 10 hours before sleep. Dose 50-200 mg per block. Start low. Microdose if you're sensitive. A half cup of coffee, green tea, matcha. Consider pairing caffeine with 100-200 mg L-theanine for smoother focus and fewer jitters. Form. Prefer coffee or matcha over energy drinks. Avoid sugar spikes. Cold brew is often higher in caffeine. Measure, don't guess. Hydrate and add electrolytes to reduce the wired and tired crash. Rules during resets. No caffeine. Resets must be low stim. Choose water, electrolytes, or decaf if you need the ritual without the neurochemistry. Tolerance. If you need more to feel normal, you're paying interest. Taper by swapping 1 cup per day to half calf or decaf for a week, then reduce total cups by 25% weekly. Expect 3 to 5 days of withdrawal. Protect sleep and stay hydrated. Overcaffeinated? Walk outside with a soft gaze for optic flow. Breathe 4 seconds in and 6 out for a few rounds. Sip water with a pinch of salt and lemon. Do not chase the jitters with more caffeine later. Use caffeine as a scalpel, not a sledgehammer. Aligned to your 90-20 cycles, it amplifies focus. Mistimed, it erases resets and taxes sleep, the foundation of tomorrow's work. Food can feel like fuel, but a heavy meal is a focus tax. The post-meal crash isn't a character flaw, it's physiology. When you eat big and fast, especially high glycemic carbs, insulin spikes, blood flow shifts to the gut, and parasympathetic rest and digest takes the wheel. Result: sleep pressure rises, alertness drops, and your next deep work block gets blunted. Timing: put larger meals after a deep work block or at your final reset of the day. Keep pre-block food light and low glycemic. If you must eat before a 90, stop 20 to 30 minutes before the block. Composition: favor protein, fiber, and healthy fats. Add slow carbs if you need them. Swap the big bowl of pasta for a protein-forward plate with greens and olive oil. Avoid liquid sugar, juices, and sodas during work windows. Portioning: think steady, not stuffed. Smaller, consistent meals beat one huge lunch. Measure how you feel 30 to 60 minutes after different meals and adjust. Countermeasures if a crash hits. 10-15 minutes brisk walk for glucose disposal. Nasal breathing with longer exhales. 4 in, 6 out for 2 to 3 minutes. Light exposure to the eyes outdoors. Avoid dim rooms. A tall glass of water with a pinch of electrolytes. Dehydration amplifies fatigue. Work standing for the first 10 minutes back. Avoid slouch and scroll. Caffeine isn't the fix here. Don't stack coffee on top of a glucose dip. If you've timed caffeine for the block, let the walk and breath do the lifting. Evening protection: keep late meals lighter and earlier. 2 to 3 hours before sleep to preserve deep sleep and tomorrow's focus. Rule of thumb: eat to enable the next 90, not to escape the current one. Design meals like you design your work. Intentional, measured, and aligned with your rhythm.